Navigating Aeroview is easy and straightforward. And in this particular video, I'll be covering the basics on various menus, tabs, screens, and buttons. Please pause this video at any time and navigate around Aeroview yourself as you follow along. Once you're logged in, you'll land on this page, the Orchard Analysis and Scout Planning. But let's start here in the Aeroview dashboard. In the screen, you can see the tabs listed on the left-hand side, including the Aeroview dashboard tab itself, the Orchard Analysis and Scout Planning, Scout Reporting, and Manage Scouts tab. You have various tiles available over here, which will highlight some interesting statistics you may want to take a look at, including the latest satellite data received. In the 3-button More Options menu on the top here, you have the Home, Edit Fields, Upload Drone Data, and Export Data, including Processing Status menus. The Home tab will take you to the home screen where you can view all your farms. The Edit Fields screen will take you through to where you can edit the boundaries within your farm. To learn more about editing fields, please search Edit Fields in the Help menu. You can upload drone data, export your farm data, including exporting your farm as a shapefile, and Processing Status, which shows you the status on all drone flights currently in processing. Furthermore, we have 3 menus on the top right hand side, including View Processing Status, the same menu over here, just accessed in a different place. Uploading drone data, similarly, and Request a drone service. When requesting a drone service, you'll be asked to highlight which blocks and at which dates you'd like to have the blocks flown. At the bottom right and displayed on all pages and all tabs is the Help menu button. Once selected, you're able to look for various articles and documents pertaining to several different topics, including things such as pricing, getting started, frequently asked questions, drone information, interpreting your information, adding users to your farm, etc. Simply type in the keyword you're looking for and we will display documents that you can take a look at. Alternatively, use the Ask menu and speak to one of our support agents via email or chat. Simply close this menu using the same button. Now let's move on to the Orchard Analysis and Scout Planning tab. In this tab, you're able to view numerous blocks on your farm, as well as look at them within a certain date range. This date range pertains to drone flights done or satellite passes over your farm. You're also able to compare surveys using the Compare tool. In the Map Type Drone menu, you're able to look at visual information, health information, elevation, as well as chlorophyll. Please look through the sections on interpreting your data within the Help menu to find out more on how to read through this data and interpret it. Under the tree data section, you will find the counts which take into account the trees in the block, or vines or bushes depending on your crop type, and if there are any missing. The chlorophyll layer, the health layer, as well as area and volume. You can add layers, visual, health, elevation, and chlorophyll, to the tree data views as displayed here. You can also look at the tree data on its own by simply clicking on the Visual Drone Data tab. Zooming in on the screen, you can use your trackpad if you're using a laptop or notebook. Alternatively, the zoom in and zoom out buttons over here. We also have a handy measure tool where you can take into account certain areas if you'd like to see what the square meterage is for that area. Similarly, you can group trees if you'd like to see variances within a certain portion of the field. Simply click on Group Trees and select the boundaries you'd like to look at. Please review the Tree Group section in the Help menu to find out more on how to go about that. In the Scouting section, you can create a new route and look at alternative scout routes for ones that have been completed or ones that still need to be completed. On the right hand side we have the histogram, and you can select certain trees of certain NDVI values, and those will be highlighted for you on Aeroview. You'll also find out more about what you've selected looking at the information below the histogram graph. In this case, 17 trees have been identified out of 991 within the block. Moving on to the next tab, this is where you will look at the reporting side of things. Pests, diseases, weeds, irrigation, notes, and other sections. You can take a look at the graph here. You'll find information according to date and threshold, highlighting whether there is perhaps areas of concern or where no pests were found for a certain block. The markers section is also interesting and a great way to take a look at scouts done over the farm. Start date and end date, where you can select the date range for which you'd like to see markers, and also for which pest. Simply click on a marker to find out more about it. The date and time, coordinates, which pest, the count found, what stage it's in, being adult, larvae, or the egg stage, and if it was an insect trap or not. Our Aeroview infield app works seamlessly with Aeroview to synchronize data between the devices and display all of it in an easy to use way in Aeroview. Hotspots are similarly interesting, as you get to see where there could be outbreaks on the farm within a certain danger range for a certain pest. And moving on to our Managed Scout section, one can take a look at all routes, scheduled routes, and routes completed. One can add a new route from here as well, or simply reschedule the routes which you have done before. Simply click on Show More to expand the view and display more of the scouts. Using the arrow tab on the left hand side of the screen simply brings the menu tabs in and out as you need. If you have any questions at all about how to go about navigating Aeroview, please remember the help button at all times, and there is always a support agent available to respond to an email or chat request. Thank you for watching and enjoy using Aeroview.